So that was thoroughly depressing. So we lost 1-0. What did you think about the game? I thought, I've got some mixed feelings about it. I think in the first half, we played to Arteta's plan of playing defensively, keeping things contained, not taking too many risks. You can see this by the lineup. So having Martinelli there, and I thought Martinelli made some decent defensive contributions, but going forward, I think he just panicked. He didn't know what to do. He couldn't win corners on that side, which is something where even if he's not having the best game, he can still win a corner. And especially with Rice's in-swinger, he can pose a threat. So, a lot of the team, I don't know if this was the plan, if they were told to do this, but they were playing very defensively. And, there was a change when Eze came on. We were more direct. I thought Madueke had a really good game. I thought he was very direct. He had some good duels with Kirkez. So I think he was, the bright spark. I think Gyökeres should have been played in sooner, a lot more often. Let him run into space, cause some chaos. And I think that's what was lacking today. There wasn't any controlled chaos. I thought we controlled the game in the first half. In the second half, it felt like Liverpool went into another gear and they started to push the game a bit more with their substitutions. I thought Arteta took too long to make his subs, but this is generally the pattern. So, we're used to him making late subs. I thought Rice had a fairly poor game. If the game had finished 0-0, we would have been quite happy, I think, but not really, because it would have just covered over the cracks. The underlying problem is that we are not progressing the ball fast enough and taking calculated risks. There's too much playing backwards. Losing Saliba was quite disappointing, but Mosquera did a fantastic job stepping in. You didn't even notice that Saliba had gone off. I thought Timber had a bit of a poor game. Defensively, he was okay. You could see that he went down with cramp towards the end. So hopefully we can get White fit again for the next match as well, so they can balance their workload. I thought it was interesting that Arteta brought on Dauman instead of Nwaneri towards the end. Maybe he thought Dauman could win us a penalty like he's done before, so it was a bit of a Hail Mary. But I just thought ultimately he could have brought Eze on a bit sooner and maybe Odegaard a bit sooner, and just taking those risks. Please, I'm just asking just to let Gyökeres run into space. Just take those risks, because you have the defensive qualities in Zubimendi and Rice to stop the transition if Gyökeres can't make anything of the situation. I thought Liverpool didn't play any better, really. I thought it was quite an even game, apart from the amazing free kick. I thought it was a really good free kick. I thought Raya couldn't do anything about it. And you're always going to get moments like that in games. And it is disappointing that we can't produce more of those moments. I thought this would be the game that Rice or Zubimendi would step up and exploit that space when the front three are being marked or double marked. So it was a bit disappointing. I thought Calafiori did a good job of keeping Salah quiet. So overall, Liverpool didn't have, I think, like a lot of chances. Neither did both team. I mean, if we look at the stats, we can see that Arsenal had one shot on target, which was really disappointing. Liverpool had 3 shots on target. So I just think you got to take more shots. Sometimes it is as simple as that. Being more direct, bringing your subs in on earlier to try to affect the game, because if you lose, you lose. But you've actually gone for the game. You've created pockets of control, chaos. Trust your players to, yes, follow your game plan, but to be more direct, more quick passing, getting into shooting positions and taking the shot. You don't know what's going to happen. You could get a deflected goal. The goalkeeper could parry the ball and into the path of one of your attackers. But if you're not creating those chances, if you're just relying on a few perfect chances, it makes it a lot more difficult. So I understand the element of control. So when you're controlling the ball, you're wearing down the opponent, you're looking for opportunities. But sometimes towards the end, you just have to be more attacking. You have to have a different mindset. So let me know, what did you think of the game? I thought with City losing today as well, this would have been a good opportunity to be more on the front foot. So overall, I thought the game could have gone either way. You conceded an amazing goal. There's nothing you could do about that. There's nothing Raya could have done about that. But ultimately, the way the team played was a bit disappointing. So let me know what you thought of the game in the comments below. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.